actually did it, man. He managed to defeat Crocodile. To me, this was one of the most well-executed and cathartic anime beatdowns I've ever seen in my life. Like, Luffy destroying Crocodile towards the end of this fight in this episode was so insanely satisfying after everything that Crocodile's put everybody through in Alabasta, Vivi specifically, and, you know, just the citizens of Alabasta in general. This dude has absolutely tormented this country, and he's brought it to civil war, made it destroy itself nearly from inside itself. He's caused so much harm for so many people, and seeing Luffy finally land that insane punch at the end and knocking Crocodile out cold completely was just, like I said, so cathartic and so satisfying and well worth the wait. Do you know what I mean? This fight has been amazing. This has been the best fight overall in One Piece for me. Like all three of their rounds, I suppose you could say. Luffy finally managed to get that win after losing to him twice and nearly losing again, really, in this one, but finally managing to overcome him and defeat him in quite a brutal fashion as well was just, oh man, it was the best. It was so well executed after this whole build-up with Luffy and Crocodile in general. Just the most cathartic thing ever. And the rain has finally started to fall on Alabasta after 3 long years after Crocodile's defeat, Luffy sending him all the way to the sky, and then Pell's sacrifice in the last episode. The dust clears and the rain starts falling on the kingdom, and Vivi's voice finally breaks through to the rebel and the royal army about fighting. Please stop fighting. Crocodile's body falls to the floor and everybody sees him like as this mess just as the rain starts falling, and it finally gets the people to stop fighting and wait for a second and understand the situation, that this was never the king's fault. It was never the kingdom of Alabasta at fault here. It was a tyrant called Crocodile that's been ruining everybody's lives, stopping the rain, making the citizens fight against each other. And yeah, oh man, just this episode was so well done. After everything that's led up to it, seeing it actually come to fruition and seeing Crocodile's defeat and the rain finally fall was, yeah, is emphatic, man. It's just, yeah, I'm so good. But I'm jumping a bit ahead of myself. I should talk about the fight itself, Crocodile versus Luffy, because Jesus Christ, it was so good. I didn't know One Piece could animate like that. Not that One Piece is badly animated, but for some reason, this was just so slick looking, especially the part when Crocodile went to slice Luffy and he sort of moved out of the way and then kicked his hook down to the floor and it snapped off. That just looked sick. And also the final decisive blow that Luffy landed, where he used Crocodile's tornado, he inhaled it so he could use it as like an air boost in order to fly up to him and hit him through all that bedrock, was just so good. And it was a bit reminiscent to me of Kid Goku versus Demon King Piccolo, where he uses the Kamehameha to launch himself up through King Piccolo. That's one of my favourite scenes in the original Dragon Ball, and seeing it in this sort of fashion, I know it's different, but it reminded me of that, was again just badass, bro. Just so good. There was such a sense of desperation and relief at the same time in this episode, because, you know, Luffy and Crocodile fighting, this really was Luffy's last chance. So when he did land that final decisive shot on Crocodile, it was literally like a sense of relief, but also so exciting, bro. Like I nearly leapt out my seat when Luffy landed that final hit on Crocodile and sent him to the sky. And then Luffy's voice again finally getting through to the kingdom, to the citizens, and stopping the fighting, stopping more bloodshed and the rain falling. So much sense of like relief after everything that the citizens of Alabasta have been through, and Crocodile finally getting what was coming to him. So well executed and so well done. This episode was fantastic. This whole arc has been incredible, and this was my favorite fight ever. I know I keep saying that, but it was my favorite fight in One Piece for sure. Maybe one of my favorite anime fights, just because, like I said, the build up and what this means for Alabasta and its citizens and Vivi and everything. Yeah, just so satisfying. This episode was an absolute 10 out of 10. Literally perfect. I wouldn't change anything about it.